Hey, it's your boy Bobby B. So I want to talk about a subject that comes to mind, and that is Cooler. Now, basically, Cooler pretty much is the guy who we've been all waiting on. He's someone we talk about a lot, and a lot of people actually seem to like him. Now, Cooler, if you don't know who Cooler is the brother of Frieza. And if you don't know why, don't know the brother of Frieza, basically, it's because you haven't had a chance to check out the other stuff. Now, when it comes to Frieza, we pretty much don't know anything about Cooler in terms of, the canon. Meaning that you see Frieza there, and you see him with his army and everything, and you see, King Cole, who is his father, and you see the Ginyu Force and everybody like that, but you don't see nothing about Cooler. Now, Cooler is the guy who's from the movies. Now, he's Frieza's brother from the movies, and the thing about him is that he's a character who is so good. He is so, he's right there. It's like he just pretty much is, he's a character who seems to go in there real well, but at the same time it's like, hey, he's not in the canon, so it's like you can't really talk about him too much. And the thing is that when it comes down to it, Cooler is a great character. Like, he's someone I really like. I went back and I saw some of the Cooler movies recently. Well, at least the first one. I didn't really care too much for the return of Cooler, but at least when it came to Cooler's Revenge, which is his first movie, is actually very good. Now, Cooler's Revenge is pretty much about Cooler learning or coming up with the fact, hearing about Frieza being killed by Goku or defeated by Goku. Now, Cooler comes and he comes for revenge because he's coming to get Goku. And the thing is that this is for killing Frieza. But at the same time, Cooler didn't really care for Frieza. And not only that, he didn't really care for, he thought Frieza was like, lesser powered than him. And he also thought that Frieza was, like King Cole's favorite. But for some reason, basically, Cooler loved King Cole. Like, he loved his father, but he didn't really care for his brother. But still, he's coming for Goku because of Frieza. So with him coming down to the planet to fight against Goku because of what happened to Frieza, that's pretty much the situation with him. He comes there, and him and his crew, they start beating up everybody and everything along that line, and he turns out to be on a whole other level than Frieza. Not only that, Frieza's final form, Cooler seems to have passed, pretty much he has that form, but he seems to have surpassed that form. And we're not talking about, like, Golden Frieza. We're talking about Cooler hitting another form that's just different or just on a whole other level. He hadn't hit the Golden form because pretty much, the Golden form wasn't really there, and Frieza was, like dead. But basically, it's a scenario where Cooler would be perfect. He was on a whole other level. He's nothing like Frieza. He's more serious. He's more coming for you. Frieza is somebody who you could probably talk with, or be like, oh, well, Frieza, I'm gonna joke with you and talk some junk. But when it comes down to Cooler, Cooler is like way more different than Frieza, way more scarier than Frieza is, if I had to be, talk about him. But basically, when it comes down to it, Cooler came for Goku. Now, when it comes down to it, with the movie, if you haven't seen it, it's a movie that's just so different. And what I mean by it is, it's a time in Dragon Ball that's just totally different. Now, when you come with Dragon Ball Z in the beginning, it was just Goku, Krillin, Piccolo, Tien, Yamcha, Tiao, who the dude is, a little short dude. I can't remember his name for right now, but it was just them as the Z team. Vegeta was not even there. Super Saiyan thing was not even there. It was Goku with his Kaioken. But by the time you get to Cooler's Revenge, it was just pretty much Goku having the Super Saiyan power. But it was like the regular Dragon Ball team. And it was pretty much where you have something going on where you don't see that, Vegeta and everybody. You see that old Dragon Ball team with Goku and him being able to go, into Super Saiyan. So you don't have that many people being able to hit Super Saiyan. You just have Gohan, who has the potential, but it's pretty much all the Z team with Goku. And that's one of those rare things, because you don't really get that. And when it came to the sagas, you didn't really get that, because like after the saga on Namek, after the fight with Frieza, they pretty much went into the new team, which became, Goku, and then Vegeta, then Future Trunks showed up, and then Gohan went Super Saiyan, and then you had the Z team there. So it was like, that's a rarity. But in the film, you get Goku and you get the whole Z team, and the film is very rare in its own way, because you don't hardly see that anymore. That was something that we saw at the very beginning of Dragon Ball Z, and even way back into the Dragon Ball time. But with this particular movie, hey, with Cooler, it's a scenario where this character should be canon. Cooler should be canon. Why should Cooler be canon? Because Cooler fits in there perfectly, just like Broly, and even with Gogeta, because Gogeta got canonized along with Broly. Cooler should get canonized too. because he fits in there greatly, and Frieza would fit with him. Now, you know they're going to want to do a Broly sequel or a sequel to this film sooner or later. And what I mean by that is that, you know, Broly is doing very well. This is probably the best Dragon Ball movie, not just in story art, but in terms of money. It's made a lot of money. Now, Toei's in a situation where they may just want to continue the series because, I mean, hell yeah, it's successful. But the movie, it's doing so good, they may want to release the films, maybe more than one a year or one a year to make sure they continue that success, because now they're seeing like, look, Dragon Ball is on a level where it can make a money at the box office and do very, very well. So it's like, okay, the next movie will be probably bigger, have more production, and one character who can fit that, one character who can make people want to go see it is Cooler. Cooler would be perfect for them to add into the next film. All they have to do, let's just take the story from the original, do it a little differently and put him in there, because, I mean, he fits in there very, very well. We thought he was canonized along with the movies. It's just Frieza never mentioned him. And we think about the fact, okay, Frieza never mentioned Cooler. And then all of a sudden, you know, here comes Cooler out the blue. Now, it's going to be a little, it's going to be kind of crazy. And the reason why I'm saying it's going to be kind of crazy is because we're dealing with a scenario where was Cooler at this entire time? Once Frieza was defeated, and then when Frieza came and was defeated again, and King Cold, died, was killed, went out with Frieza, and then Frieza returned again and still was defeated. And then Frieza came back with Broly and still was defeated. So you're saying to yourself, where the hell was Cooler this entire time? They can come up with anything about maybe Cooler was just doing his own thing. Maybe he was just out there. Maybe he just didn't care, all kind of stuff. But the thing about Cooler, him showing up in the next film, or him being the main villain of the next film, would make a lot of sense. And it would be something that I think everybody would love to see. Not only would you canonize Cooler, but you'd want to canonize something else. And what I mean by that is that Cooler being canonized is cool, but Super Saiyan 4 getting canonized would be, come on, man. Super Saiyan 4 is probably the most top ranked thing everyone wants canonized into the Dragon Ball, period. Like all of us want Super Saiyan 4. And the whole thing is that when you look at the Broly film, a lot of people are saying, hey, I saw a little bit of Super Saiyan 4 there. So we're just going to have to wait and see how that goes. But I think there's definitely going to be a movie about Cooler, and he's going to come. And not only that, Super Saiyan 4 will be canonized with him. But that's pretty much what I think in regards to that. But I just want to say, it's your boy, Bobby Beast here. I just want to say much love, much respect. Go right ahead and subscribe, hit that notification bell, like this video, and like my other Dragon Ball content. I just want to say much love, much respect. Hold it down, and whoa.